Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to the world of triangles. This is basically chapter 6, triangles. This chapter actually deals with similarity. To be frank, it starts with the topic of similarity. And actually, similarity, what is the meaning of similar figures? Basically, they are definitely not congruent figures. Then basically what is the difference between congruent figures and similar figures? The basic difference and the main difference is that congruent figures are same in every aspect. If I say this is a square and this is another square which is congruent to the first square, that means they have to be congruent, means same by size and shape both. Size and shape both have to be congruent. When I mean to say size, it means that if supposing this is a square having each side 4 4 4, then this also is same by 4 4 4. And definitely shape means basically they will be having angles 90 90 90 degree only. Are you getting, my dear students? Every figure, every 2 figure, 3 figure, 4 figure, they will be congruent only and only when they are same by size and shape both. You will come to know nicely more clearly when you think about similar figures. Similar figures are those who are same by shape. If the figures are same by shape, they are similar figures. They may not be same by size. See, if I say that there is a square whose each side is basically 7 centimeters and this is a square whose each side is 4 centimeters, so these two squares are similar because they are similar by shape. They are not similar by size, but they are similar by shape. So these squares of each 4 centimeter and this of 7 centimeter are basically similar. Congruent symbol is this, similar symbol is this. This much is sufficient. These two squares are similar. This happens for every figure. If I consider an equilateral triangle, this equilateral triangle is similar to this equilateral triangle. But these two triangles are not congruent. These two triangles are not congruent, but definitely they are similar. One more thing. If I consider congruent triangles, this is a triangle which is congruent. If supposing I tell that they are 6 6 6 6 6 6, definitely they are congruent. Are they similar? Yes, they are similar also and they are congruent also. Why? Because see, my dear students, understand the definition properly. As long as two figures have same shape, they are similar. They may be equal in size, they may not be equal in size. If they are not equal in size, they are similar. If they are equal in size, they are still similar, because the condition to be similar is that they have to be same by shape. They have to be same by shape. They may not be same by size. But to be congruent, they have to be both. They have to be same by shape and size both. Are you getting, my dear students? So that this is the basic difference between congruent figures and similar figures. To start with, actually they have given you the exercise which actually will, one more thing just to give a one more touch to the idea. See, one thing is there, they are definitely same by shape. See, this is the basic difference between the similar figures and congruent figures. But remember, when it comes to sides of this, what is the relation between sides and angles? Of course, corresponding sides and corresponding angles. See, I am talking. See, first of all, what if you are getting confused? See, my dear students, first try to understand that similar figures have same shape. If they are same in shape, they are similar. Fine. Congruent figures have same shape and same size. This is first. Okay, fine. Now I talk about congruent figures. If I talk about congruent figures, the relation between the sides, the corresponding sides, what will be the relation between corresponding sides? If supposing this is a rectangle and I say this is another rectangle which are congruent to each other. Fine. So A, B, C, D, P, Q, R, S. They are rectangles which are congruent to each other. I am telling that they are congruent to each other. When I say that they are congruent to each other, then the corresponding sides means AB and PQ will be congruent. If this is 7, this also has to be 7. If this is 4, this also has to be 4. Fine. If supposing I have got a triangle, and I claim to you that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR, I tell you this, then what will be the relation between their sides? See, ABC and PQR are congruent. So side AB, if it is 2, so side PQ will be, they are corresponding sides. AB is corresponding to PQ. So if AB is 2, PQ also will be 2. What is the side corresponding to BC? Side corresponding to BC is side QR. Are you getting the meaning of corresponding? Corresponding means they basically are representing each other in those figures. If BC is representing ABC, then this side BC is represented what over there in PQR? QR is representing side BC in PQR. Fine. So if QR is 7, so BC will be 7. If AC is 4, then PR also will be 4. Means in short, corresponding sides are congruent. When I talk about corresponding sides of congruent figures, they will be congruent to each other. And what about corresponding angles? Definitely they also will be congruent. These angles will be congruent. If this is 90 degree, then this also will be 90 degree. If this is 90 degree, this also has to be 90 degree. D is a corresponding angle of S. So if D is 90 degree, then this also will be 90 degree. Here in this case, angle A, if supposing it is, what I consider, if supposing it is 80 degree, if this is 80 degree, this is not going to be right. Forget, it's okay. This is not going to be. This I make at 60 and this I make as 40. Fine. So if this angle A is 80 degree, the angle P also will be 80 degree because they are corresponding angles. Angle sorry my dear students. Angle B is 60 degree, the angle Q also will be 60 degree. Angle C is 40 degree, angle R also will be 40 degree. This is the relation between corresponding sides and corresponding angles when I talk about congruent figures. Congruent figures, corresponding sides are congruent. Corresponding angles are also congruent when I talk about congruent figures. Now let us take a look at the similar figures. When the when the figures are similar figures, corresponding angles will be definitely congruent. They will be definitely congruent. Corresponding angles will be congruent. If this is 90 degree, this also has to be 90 degree. If this is 90 degree, this also has to be 90 degree. This is 90, this also has to be 90. If this is 60 degree, this also has to be 60 degree. This also has to be 60 degree. Are you getting, my dear students? Corresponding angles will definitely be congruent even if they are similar figures. See, that is the relation. When I talk about congruent figures, corresponding angles are congruent. When I talk about similar figures, corresponding angles are still congruent. But when I talk about size, when I talk about corresponding sides, at that time, when similar figures are there, then corresponding sides are in proportion. They will be in proportion. Means basically, if supposing this is 7 and this is 4, the other, this also will be 7 and 4. If I take some other figure, supposing if I take a figure of this type, sorry, mm, 220, 220, how many are remaining? 220, 320, 140 are remaining. So 140, I make this as 80, this as 60. Fine. So this is the condition. In this case, P, Q, R, S. Fine. And then I say A, B, C, D. Now you will have a better idea. See, these two figures are similar, is given to you. But when you write similarity, at that time you have to be very precise with the correspondence. See, if I tell quadrilateral PQRS, quadrilateral PQRS is similar to quadrilateral. Now what I will have to do? See, P is corresponding to whom? I have started with P. P is corresponding to whom? B. Quadrilateral B, QRS, to BADC, BADC. Correspondence needs to be maintained when you are writing similarity, definitely. This indicates angle P will be congruent to angle B. That means angle P is 100, to angle B also will be 100 degree. Angle Q is 80, to angle A also will be 80 degree. Angle R is 60, to angle D will be also 60 degree. If angle S is 120, so this also will be 120. Fine. Are you getting this? Now, this is regarding the corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent. And when I talk about corresponding sides are proportional, what do I mean? Supposing if this is 5 and supposing this is 2.5. So now, in what condition they are changing? PQ is 5, AB is 2.5. That means AB is half of PQ. So all other sides also will be correspondingly half of each other. That means if QR is equal to 8, then AD will be equal to 4. If SR is equal to 7, then DC will be equal to 3.5. If PS is equal to 3, then BC will be equal to 1.5. I am telling this that they are always in proportion with each other. What does this mean? That if I take PQ upon AB, it will be 5 upon 2.5 will be 2. If I take PS upon BC, PS upon BC, it will be 3 upon 1.5, which will be also equal to 2. If I take QR upon AD, QR upon AD, it will be equal to 8 upon 4, which is again 2. And if I take SR upon DC, it will be equal to 7 upon 3.5, which is again equal to 2. That means what? PQ upon AB is equal to PS upon BC is equal to QR upon AD is equal to SR upon DC. This happens when when any figures are similar to each other. Their corresponding sides will be in proportion. These are the corresponding sides. These are the corresponding sides. These are the corresponding sides. These are the corresponding sides, and they are all in proportion, because when you take the ratio of these corresponding sides, this is going to be equal. This is the basic relation between corresponding sides when it comes to similar figures. I hope now the idea is clear. See, this you have to understand technically, and when I say it in a normal common language, then I will say that they are same by shape. They are same by shape means they are congruent in angles. They are same by shape means they have congruent angles. That's why they are same by shape. If I change the angles of the corresponding angles, then they will no longer be same in shape. They maintain their shape because they maintain their angles. You take an equilateral triangle as small as this, and you take equilateral triangle of any size, as long as 60 60 60 is there, they will be same by shape. They will be maintaining their shape because they are maintaining their angles. And when it comes to size, they are definitely not necessarily definitely not, because similar figures, if they have same size, they are even now similar. Every congruent figure is similar. Every similar figure is not necessarily congruent. Okay, my dear students, so now I think technically you have understood what I mean to say. Now let us go to the exercise. See, this exercise, I hope you all have got the paper. This is just a printout, I got it from the net. See here, fill in the blanks, use the correct word given in the bracket. All circles are dash. All circles are congruent or similar. What? See, all circles, if I talk about all circles, so definitely if I talk about circle with diameter 1 centimeter, and I talk about a circle with diameter 2 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 5 centimeter, as long as they are circles, they will be same in shape, but they will not be same in size, because they are talking about random circles. So definitely all circles are similar. This is the right answer. Are you getting, my dear students? All squares are dash. Again same thing, like circles. If you talk about two squares, as long as they are randomly taken squares, they will be same in shape, and that's why they will be similar. Fine. All dash triangles are similar. All dash triangles are similar. Now here if I take all dash triangles are similar, actually equilateral triangle definitely are similar. Why are they not considering isosceles triangle? Now this is the problem. If you would have been in front of me, then I would have, this is a nice chance that we should have an interaction between them, between us. Isosceles triangles, see basically when I talk about isosceles triangle, majority of the student will be thinking about this. Isosceles triangles, two isosceles triangles, fine. To be precise, I can talk about like this. These are isosceles, these are isosceles. Are they similar in shape? No, because isosceles triangle can have, supposing this is supposing 60 degree, no, not 60, I can't take it 60, sorry. If this is supposing 30 degree, then what remains is 150, so this will be 75 degree. Fine. I can have another isosceles triangle. where the stop angle will be 50 degree. If the stop angle is 50 degree, the 130 remains, that will be 65, 65. Both are isosceles triangle, but they are definitely not similar because they have different angles. Consider like this, you can make any amount of combinations. These are two isosceles triangle, but they are not similar because they are not having corresponding angles congruent. But you will not be able to draw any equilateral triangle with different combination of angles. Equilateral triangle will have a combination of 60, 60, 60, that's all. Are you getting my dear students? So here all triangles are similar. So here all equilateral triangles only are going to be similar. No other triangles. Two polygons of the same number of sides are similar. Two polygons. Two polygons means any figure which has got more than, actually the triangle also can be considered as a polygon. Any you are talking about having 5 sides also, 4 sides, whatever they are similar. They are similar if their corresponding angles are definitely congruent. If you want them to be similar, corresponding angles have to be congruent. Their corresponding sides are proportional. Remember this. That is the meaning of proportional. I told you, I showed you the meaning of proportional. When you take the ratio of the corresponding sides, they will be having equal ratio. Basically, they are changing by the same factor. If I take first side, I take this triple, I take this side triple, then all other sides also will be changing by the factor of 3. Okay, so that is what basically corresponding sides will be proportional, means they will be having corresponding, the ratio of the corresponding sides is congruent. Give two different examples of pair of similar figures. So if you talk about similar figures, so two squares are similar. You can talk about two circles are similar. Fine. You can talk about two equilateral triangles are similar. There are many figures like that. Two rectangles also are similar. Fine. Then non-similar figures, a square and rhombus. Okay, they are not necessarily similar because they will be, rhombus can have any angles, though the sides are congruent, but it can have any angles, not necessarily 90, 90, 90. So similarly, you can talk about triangle and a circle, triangle, an equilateral triangle and a right angle triangle. They are again non-similar figures. Fine. Huh? So now state whether the following quadrilaterals are similar or not. In this case, of course, they are not similar. Reason is same. See here, if you talk about the sides, they are definitely in proportion. PQ, the double of PQ has become AB, double of QR has become BC, double of SR has become DC, double of SP has become AB. Sides are definitely in proportion. If I take PQ upon AB and I take QR upon BC and I take SR upon DC and I take SP upon AD, definitely they are all going to be equal. But the problem is that the angle P is not congruent to angle A. Angle Q is not congruent to angle B. Angle R is not congruent to angle C. Similarly, angle S is not congruent to angle D. Therefore, they are not similar figures because they are not same in shape, they are same in size. Are you getting my dear students? So this is basically more of a MCQ type of question. So with this we can consider that 6.1 is over. It's not very difficult. Presentation and everything is very quite easy. We have to give these reasons only. Fine, nothing much. Similar figures I have told you. The examples you can write in this fashion, anything. Non-similar figures, these are just fill in the blanks, and I have given you the explanation of this. And this can be presented in this way because the angles are not congruent, therefore they are not similar figures. Fine. So now we can go to the next exercise. See, for the next exercise, what you require to understand is, This is one of the very, very, very important theorems. Basic proportionality theorem. This is a very important theorem, my dear students. Basically, any theorem in this world, it requires a condition. It demands a condition. If a certain condition is satisfied, only and only then that theorem can be applied. The best example I always give is the Pythagoras theorem, which is the basic theorem that you have learned and you have mastered by now. According to the Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is equal to the side 1 square plus side 2 square. But definitely this theorem also has a condition. And what is the condition of that theorem? The condition of this theorem is that it requires a right angled triangle. This theorem cannot be applied on any other triangle but a right angled triangle only. That's why it starts itself with a hypotenuse square, because hypotenuse is applicable only on a right angled triangle. Only a right angled triangle has a hypotenuse. Okay, fine, my dear students. So similarly, basic proportionality theorem, if you look at the statement of the theorem, what is the statement of the theorem? You have got this. See, the statement tells that if a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle and it intersects other two sides in distinct points. Distinct means clearly separate, two different separate identities, points. They are called as distinct. Then the other two sides are divided in same ratio. You can also say they are divided in proportion, means in same ratio. See here, my dear students, what is the basic thing? The necessity of the theorem is what? If a line is drawn parallel to one side, line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle. Line has to be parallel to one side of a triangle. So actually here, if I'll say, if I have got a figure like this, basic figure like this, it is A, B, C. If a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle, so here if you see, this is the line L parallel to side BC. Line L is parallel to side BC and it is intersecting the other two sides. It is parallel to BC and it is intersecting other two sides at P and Q, distinct points. Then this is required by BPT. What will I have? AP upon PB. AP upon PB will be equal to AQ upon QC. Okay, my dear students, this all. See, you have to get that the condition is satisfied, then you call the theorem and then you get an equation of that theorem. These are the important points that you have to remember, my dear students. Similarly, supposing I can take 2-3 more examples for you to understand it in a better fashion. This time I take, see, supposing if this is A, B, C and line L, this is the line L parallel to AB and it cuts AC in P and BC in Q. So it is given line L is parallel to AB. Supposing this is given, then I can say that by BPT, what will I get? From the vertex you have to start. CP upon PA. CP upon PA will be equal to CQ upon QB. PQ upon QB. Okay, my dear students, I hope you all are getting this figure. So this is the way the BPT will be applied. Of course, when you understand basic proportionality theorem, then you have to understand the next one, that is what? Converse of BPT. Converse of BPT. The converse of BPT is what? That basically now if a line, exactly reverse of this, if a line divides, sorry, divides any two sides, any two sides of a triangle in the same ratio. Now the division is same. In the same ratio, then the line is parallel to the third side. See what they mean to say. Supposing this is a triangle, fine, this is triangle A, B, C, and now they are telling that there is a line which is dividing the two sides in the same ratio. Like supposing this is P and this is Q. Now you should have, that is supposing this is 3 and this is 4. Supposing this is 9, this is 12. Fine. So now if you will see, AP upon PB is going to be 3 upon 4. I can't reduce this. And AQ upon QC is equal to 9 upon 12. This will become 3 3s are 9, 3 4s are 12. Now these both are same. These both are same from 1 and 2. AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. So they are basically in same ratio. That's what I am telling. If they divide any two sides of a triangle in the same ratio, this is the condition satisfied. They are dividing the two sides in the same ratio. Then by converse of BPT, I can claim that the line is parallel to the third side. This is the line PQ parallel to the third side is BC. These two sides they have a cut. This is side 1 it has cut, this is side 2 it has cut. This is the third side. You can say PQ is parallel to BC. That is what the converse means. I hope you all are getting, my dear students. So if you have understood this and you actually have understood properly, then you will be basically, it's not very difficult to understand, my darling students. The only thing is that now if you start solving and you go further with the exercise, so you will come to know and in a better way. Fine. So let's start with the exercise. You will be able to understand. It's not that difficult at all. See, now consider the first question. Fine. Coming to the first question, what are they telling in the first question? Exercise 6.2. See, here they have given in the figure 6.17, 1 and 2, DE is parallel to BC. Now they have given DE is parallel to BC. Find EC in 1 and AD in 2. It is going to be very simple, my dear students. Don't worry about that. So in this case, what they have given, sorry, fine, these are the figures A, B, C, D, E. This they have given, it is 1.5 centimeter, this is 1 centimeter, this is 3 centimeter, and then you have to find EC. Are you getting, my dear students? In this case also it will go in the same fashion. In this case also it will go in the same fashion. Now what will happen over here? They have given, see here, DE is parallel to BC, they have given in both the figures. DE is parallel to BC, they have given. So you will tell, of course you will write the address in triangle ABC. DE is parallel to BC. This is given Therefore, by dpt, what will you get? AD upon dB. AD upon dB is equal to AE upon EC. AE upon, what is AD now? Substitution. 1.5 upon 3 is equal to 1 upon EC. This is substitution. Now what? You want EC, so you will cross multiply. EC is equal to 3 into 1. 1.5 will come and divide over here. Fine. So now you have got 1.5. 1s are 1.5 and 1.5. This you will get as 1.5 1s are 1.5 2s are. So you will get this as EC is equal to 2 centimeter. This is your fine, my dear students. I hope you are getting. It is very easy. Don't worry. Second figure they are telling. This is again triangle ABC. Something like that. Something like that and something like that. And then they are telling that DE is parallel. Fine. This is your A, this is your B, this is your C, this is your D, and this is your E. Now AE is equal to 1.8 centimeter they have given, this is 5.4 centimeter they have given, and this is 7.2 centimeter, and you have to find AD in second question. Again the same thing in triangle ABC, DE is parallel to DC. This is given. Therefore, by dpt, what will you get? AD upon DB. AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. Fine. And then substitution. AD you don't know, upon DB is 7.2, AE is 1.8 upon 5.4. Fine, my dear students. So AD is equal to 1.8 into the 7.2 will go and multiply on the other side. Now there is what? See, as long as there is these two decimals, actually you can consider like that. You just remember, you just get rid of the decimals. It is simple. There are how many decimals in total in the numerator? 1 decimal over here, 1 decimal over here, 2 decimals in the numerator. So you will multiply the denominator by 100. 2 decimals, 2 zeros. How many decimals in the denominator? 1 decimal in the denominator. So only 1 zero, that is 10 in the numerator. See, remember to remove the decimal, that many zeros in the opposite side. So here 10, 101, 101. Now you start dividing this. This is very easy. See here, 9 6 are 54, 9 8 are 72, 6 1s are I am gone. No, I am not. 6 1s are, and then 6 3s are. So what you get over here is AD is equal to 3 8s are 24 upon 10. So AD is equal to 2.4 centimeter. Understood, my dear students? I hope you have understood this. Not that difficult at all. Now going to question number 2. Here they are telling E and F are points on side PQ and PR respectively of triangle PQR for each of the following figures. Now here means this is not the figure of that. You have to draw the figure every time. E and F are the points on the sides PQ and PR of triangle PQR. Means you have to draw triangle PQR every time. See, this is the supposing triangle PQR, PQ, PR. So this will be PQR. E and F are on the sides of triangle PQ and PR every time for each of the following. State whether EF is parallel to QR. So we have to continuously every time we have to draw this E and F. Now you have to be very careful. PE is equal to 3.9, EE is equal to 3.9 centimeter, EQ is equal to 3 centimeter, PF is equal to 3.6 centimeter, and FR is equal to 2.4 centimeter. Now actually speaking, now you have to be careful. Of course, you have to see that whether PE upon EQ. When you have to prove EF is parallel or not, that means you will have to take the help of the converse of BPT. So every time you will have to see whether PE upon EQ is equal to PF upon FR. If they are equal, then by converse of BPT, EF is parallel to QR. Okay, my dear students. So PE upon EQ. Now you have to be, this is quite easy. What is PE upon EQ? 3.9 upon 3. If I go to divide this, you can do that way also. 39 divided by 10. I remove the decimal from up, it becomes 3. So see, sorry, 30. So this will become what now? 3 13s are 3 10s are. So what do I get over here is 13 upon 10. This is my first. And then I talk about PF upon FR is going to be equal to 3.6 upon 2.4. Now when decimals both are going same decimals, they are having one decimal in numerator, one decimal in denominator, so I can ignore the decimals straightforward. So this I can divide by 6. 6 are 36, 6 4s are, and then again by 2, 2s are 2, 3s are. So what do I get over here is 3 upon 2. Now I can see they are not congruent at all. From 1 and 2, PE upon EQ is not equal to PF upon FR. Therefore, by converse of BPT, what do I get? That EF is not parallel to QR. Understood, my dear students? See, the presentation also matters a lot and have to keep presentation proper. If presentation is not proper, then again we will be doomed. Now you talk about the second question. See, second question again you will have to do the same thing. There is a triangle PQR in the same fashion. If you feel that you are confident enough, my dear students, you can do one thing. You can pause the video and draw the figure and everything and try to solve it. Afterwards, you can definitely come back and see whether what you have done is matching or not. You can pause the video, my dear students, and carry on. So you can counter check over here. So here also you will do the same thing. I will go to see what is PE upon EQ. It is 4 upon 4.5. If I go to solve this, I will have to remove the decimals. To remove this one decimal from denominator, I will put 1 0 in the numerator. Now if I go to divide this, what do I get? 5 8s are 40, 5 9s are 45. So this becomes 8 upon 9. Fine. And what goes to the second one? PF upon FR is equal to 8 upon 9. This I can't reduce, but of course I can see that they both are equal. From 1 and 2, what do I get? PE upon EQ is equal to PF upon FR. Therefore, by converse of BPT, we get what? EF is definitely parallel to QR because they both are equal. Okay, my dear students, I hope you all are getting everything. Now going to the third question. You can also give a try to the third question fast. can give a try to the third question, third question, third question, third question. Okay, fine. In this case, again I will take this triangle P Q R. This is my E, this is my F. You can carry on now, but you have to be careful, my dear students. Here you have to be very careful. I don't know whether you all have noticed it or not. See, my dear students, here while giving, they have given you mismatching segments. You need PE upon EQ and not PE upon PQ. This is PQ they have given. You need PF upon FR, not PF upon PR. So you will have to find EQ first and you will have to find FR first. For that, of course, you know EQ is equal to what? What is equal to EQ? From PQ minus PE. You will subtract PE, right? So you will get EQ. EQ is equal to what? From PQ as a whole. PQ minus what? PE. The reason for this is P dash E dash Q. Remember, this means that P, E, Q are collinear points. Nothing more than that. So EQ is equal to, what is PQ? They have given 1.28 minus 0.18. So if you go to subtract this, you will get 1.1 centimeter. Fine. 1.10. 0. Then if you go to the FR again, FR will be equal to what? Complete PR. FR is equal to this complete PR minus from PR I will subtract PF. Again over here P dash F dash R. Then FR is equal to, I have to find this, PR is 2.56 minus 0.36. So again I will get FR is equal to 2.20. If you want you can write, otherwise 2.2 also is okay, no problem. Centimeter. Fine. Now you have to find PE upon EQ. PE upon EQ. What is PE? 0.18 they have given. EQ you have found 1.10. So now two decimals, so you can ignore 110, but remember you have to write 110. But once you have considered it, then this will become 2 9s are 18, 2 5s are 10, 2 5s are 10. That's all. 9 upon 55. And then you go to PF upon FR. 0.36 upon 2.20. So this will definitely become 36 upon 220. So this will be divisible by 4 9s are 4 5s are 4 5s are. So you will get what? 9 upon 55. This is your first, this is your second. So again the same thing from 1 and 2. We get, what do we get? PE upon EQ is equal to PF upon FR. Therefore, by converse of BPP, what do we get? EF is parallel to QR. EF is parallel to QR. Okay, my dear students, so this way we have completed second question also, and now we go to the third question. Third question they are telling, now they have given 6.18. Now we have to refer to the figure 6.18. This is there. Now consider this, you will get A, B, C, D, this is L, this is M, and this is N. Fine, here they have told, question number 3, LM is parallel to CB. Here they have given LM is parallel to LM, this is LM, fine, this is parallel to CB. Also they have given LM is parallel to CD. Prove. What do we have to prove? AM upon AB is equal to AM upon AD. Now you have to start. See, my dear students, what they have given, what you will be getting, and what they are asking. Everything is a mismatch. If you pay attention, everything is a mismatch. See, if you go by step, first of all, but you have to pay attention, my dear students. You have to definitely pay attention. See what you are dealing with. AM upon AB, AM upon AB, AN upon AD, AN upon AD. Try to understand. It is a mismatch. Why? Because normally when you apply BPT, what you get? AM upon MB, AM upon MB you get, and they are dealing with what? AM upon AB. Here you have to be very careful. Don't worry, you only have to know to convert the non-matching pairs into the proper matching pairs. Non-corresponding pairs, they are definitely corresponding pairs, but one corresponding pair has to be converted to another corresponding pair. Don't worry about that. First you go by this first what you have learned. If you have to use this property, LM is parallel to CB, LM is parallel to CB, then what will you do and where will you do? See, this is the figure that you are dealing with. Fine, this is the figure that you are dealing with. You have to draw it. I don't know whether you are able to see it. Pencil is there. Actually speaking, see, but anyhow you will be able to. You will have to draw it with dotted figures. And this dotted figure is a, and then you will have to join it. Now here you are going to deal with LM parallel to CB, LM parallel to CB. This you are going to use, LM parallel to CB. So if you are going to use this property of LM parallel to CB, then in which triangle will you apply the BPT? So definitely a line parallel to a side of a triangle. So if I consider this as a line, so this BC is the side of a triangle. So which this triangle can it make? This triangle. Fine. So I have to apply BPT in triangle ABC if I am considering line LM parallel to BC. Are you getting? Rest of the figure is ignored at present. So here what I get, proof. I'll give the address first. In triangle ABC, they have given LM is parallel to CB. This they have given. Therefore, by BPT, see, I am going first. I have shown the condition is satisfied, and then I am calling the theorem, and then I will get the equation of the theorem. By BPT, what will I get? I start from here. AM upon MB. I will be getting this. AM upon MB is equal to AL upon LC. AL upon LC. This I will be getting, and this I label as 1. Fine. Now this is all that I will be getting, and now I will have to go to another one, that is LN parallel to CD. Again, now if I talk about LN parallel to CD, be very friendly with the diagrams, my dear students. When you are learning, at that time draw figures every time. Don't get bothered, don't get worried, don't get bored, and don't get tired. वो स्टूडेंट ही क्या जो टायर होता है. Don't worry. Oh, this I should have done with pencil. Now what? LN parallel to CD. This actually you are supposed to draw a dotted line. Okay. LN parallel to CD. So this is LN parallel to CD. So if I have to use this LN parallel to CD, I will have to consider triangle ACD. Try to understand this. This is how you should track the diagrams. Fine. So in triangle ABC, once your eyes are fit over there, your eyes get trained to read the diagram, then you won't have to draw this every time. But do this first 6 months continuously. Do this. Whether you, even if you understand, do it. In triangle ADC, you get what? LN is parallel to DC. This is given. Therefore, by BPT, what do we get? We get AN upon ND is equal to AL upon LC. Now, as I, because you have applied BPT in 1, you got an equation. BPT in 2, you got an equation. Now you have to compare these two equations. Always two equations you get, and then those two equations you have to compare. Fine. If I compare the two equations, I can see here AL upon LC and AL upon LC. If these two sides are equal, these have to be equal. So from 1 and 2, what do we get? AM upon MB, AM upon MB is equal to AN upon ND. So now if you will see, what do I have got? I have got this. AM upon MB is equal to AN upon ND. AM upon MB is equal to AN upon ND. And they want me to show AM upon AB is equal to AN upon AD. So here they require, I have got what? I have got this. I have got AM upon MB, AM upon MB, and they want what? AM upon AB, AM upon AB. Are you getting, my dear students? Other side I have got AN upon ND, AN upon ND, and they want what? AN upon AD. My segments are same, AB, AD. My segments are this, but combination is a wrong combination. Only thing, AM upon MB, AM upon AB is required. So it is very easy. Don't worry about that, my dear students. What you just have to do is that, see what is needed out of this AM and AB, MB. AM and MB. Here is AM and AB. What is needed? AM is needed. MB is not needed. So I will shift MB to numerator. Means I will just reciprocate do these two. I will get, therefore, MB upon AM is equal to ND upon AN. This I can tell by invertendo. You had something of this sort in 9th. By invertendo, you inverted both the sides. Why you inverted? Because MB is not needed. What is not needed, that should go to the numerator. What is needed? AM is needed. See, compare the two. What you have got and where you have to go. You have got AM upon MB, you have to go to AM upon AB. Fine, my dear students. So you have to go from here to here. AM is right, it is needed. MB is not needed. What is not needed, that should be transferred to the numerator. For that, what I do invertendo. I do invertendo on the left hand side, and therefore I have to do invertendo on the right hand side also. I have reached over here. Now only thing that you have to do, when you have to come, just you have to add 1 over here and add 1 over here. Adding 1 on both the sides. What do I get? See, MB upon AM is equal to what they have given? ND upon AN. This is what you have got. ND upon AN. This is what you have got. Fine. MB upon AM is equal to ND upon AN. I will add 1 over here. I will add 1 over here. So what will I get is that plus 1 plus 1. I can still do that. Still they are going to be equal because I am adding the same number on the other side. Now when I solve this, what do I get? This is nothing but 1. Cross multiply. MB plus AM into 1 will give me AM upon AM into 1 will give me AM. This will give me ND into 1, ND, AN into 1, AN upon AM. Now if I see MB upon AM, see MB upon MB plus, MB plus AM, MB plus AM If I compare over here, MB plus AM, it is going to be AB. So I will write over here AB upon AM will be as it is. Similarly on the other side, ND plus AN, ND plus AN, ND plus AN. If I add these two, it will become AD, AD. Reason of this is A dash M dash B, they are collinear points. A dash M dash B, and second is what? A dash N dash B, they are in same line. A dash N dash B. This is the reason for this. Now AB upon AM is equal to AD upon AN. Now if you will see, we have come to the right thing, except what AM upon AB it has to be. You will have to do invert endo again. AM upon AB is equal to AN upon AD again by invert endo. This is your equation 3. Okay, my dear student, this is actually speaking when you have got wrong combination lying on the same segments. See, remember what you have to do. You have got a wrong combination lying on the same segments. When you got wrong combination lying on the same segments, you just have to first shift the unwanted segment to the numerator. Remember, that is very essential. Sometimes the unwanted segment is already lying in the numerator. At that time, no botheration. You just have to add 1 on both the sides. But first, if it is not lying on the numerator, here AM is in the numerator, AM is in the numerator, but AM is wanted. You can see over there. Compare this, what you have got, with this, where you have to go. AM is needed. MB is not needed. Instead of MB, you want AB. Fine. So what you will do, invert this so that MB goes to the numerator. And afterwards, add 1 on both the sides, cross multiply and solve. Definitely you will get the right combination, except it will be not in the properly arranged format. Again, you will have to do invert endo, and then you will come to where it is needed. Okay, my dear students, I hope you all have got this. It is one step something else you have learnt now in this question. So can we go to the fourth question now? Can we go to the fourth question now? Yes, we will have to go to the fourth question. Fourth. Fine. Here what they are asking you, in this figure 6.19, the figure 6.19 is already given to you, and how are they drawing this? It is like this, something of this sort, and somewhere this is your E, and somewhere this is your F, this is your B, this is your C. Fine. Like this, what the figure looks like, and your A is on top. F से थोड़ा सा इस तरफ. Now this is your A, this is your AC. Fine, my dear students. So this becomes your A, this becomes my B, this becomes my C. Now what they are telling, DE is parallel to AC. Now that means you have to draw a line parallel to this. This is the line. D will come somewhere over here. And then they are telling DF is parallel to AE. So this AE is there already. And DF, yes, your DF is coming parallel to AE. No problem. Diagram barabar aa gaya. Fine. Now here they have given, what have they given? DE is parallel to AC. DE is parallel to AC. DF is parallel to AE. These things they have given. Proof. See the same thing. You, because of this, in which triangle you will apply which theorem. Because of this, in which triangle you will apply which theorem. That you should be able to track. Once you are able to track that, then you can compare the equations that you have got, and then you can try to proceed. Fine, I will require, definitely I will draw. I am not that tired man. I always have the habit of drawing, and I will draw. This is my AE. Now I will not be that much bothered about, but still I will get parallel lines proper. This is my A, this is my B, this is my C, this is my D, this is my F, this is my E. Okay, somewhat faint figure you are able to see, don't worry, as it is, but I have to see now. Here DE is parallel to AC. I am going to use DE parallel to AC. This is my DE parallel to AC. Fine, my dear students. So DE parallel to AC, I will be able to apply BPT. In which triangle? Can you guess it? Yes, it is going to be triangle ABC. DF and AE are actually trying to confuse you. Fine. So I will tell the same thing over here. Proof: in triangle ABC, DE is parallel to AC. This is given. Therefore, by BPT, we get what? BD upon DA. BD upon DA is equal to BE upon EC. BE upon EC. This is my. Just check whether you are coming anywhere. BE upon EC. Yes, you are coming straight. Bang. Fine. Now going for the second one, DF parallel to AE. Fine. I know by now many of you students must have been mastering this and must be able to track that triangle where you are supposed to apply, and you can do that. But my dear students, always have that patience and draw this figure. The more you become friendly with the diagrams, stronger your geometry will be. Have the habit of doing this in the smaller level, then the complex level you will be able to deal in a better way. DF parallel to AE. See, these are all parallel to AE. The training sessions, so that if you are able to draw this in the basic level, you will be able to reproduce it at the complex level. Fine. So this is what DF parallel to AE. So I will be applying BPT in triangle ABE. So nicely you have seen. Right? So you will tell in triangle ABE. What will you get? DF is parallel to AE. This is given by BPT. What do we get? Sorry, BD upon DA is equal to BF upon FE. So this is the equation that you got from first application. This is the equation you got from the second application. Here BD upon DA, BD upon DA is common from 1 and 2. BD upon DA, this is congruent to BE upon EC is equal to BF upon FE. See whether सेम. यस, इसको कहते हैं आंसर हाथ जोड़ के सामने आके खड़ा होता है. आई एम योर आंसर. डोंट रन बिहाइंड द आंसर. आंसर शुड कम ऑन इट्स ओन. ओके माय डियर स्टूडेंट, दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव डन. Fine. So now I go to the next question. That is the question number 5. Here they have told again the same thing. Here they have told 5. DE is parallel to OQ. This is the figure that I am supposed to draw first. क्यू आर इज माई बेस, एंड देन इसके ऊपर जाके इधर की तो भी माई पी इज देयर, फाइन. Then I have got a O over here somewhere, slightly in the middle के बाजू में. This will be something of this sort, and then I have got this connected over here. Then a D is there, but this D is basically, B is parallel to OQ. It has to be parallel, just like this, and DF is parallel to OR. So from here it has to be parallel, something like this. Something like this, fine. So, and then these two are connected. Fine, my dear students, we are very close to the given diagram. This is P, this is Q, this is R, this is your D, this is your E, this is your F, this is your O. Fine. Now, here they have given DE is parallel to OQ. Fine. DF is parallel to OR. To prove EF is parallel to QR. Those who feel they can solve this, they can pause the video and carry on. Once you have done, then resume the video and see whether you are getting the same things. I will be drawing diagrams, 2 diagrams will be needed, so I will be drawing them. Fine, my 2 diagrams are ready. Now I will start solving. In first case they have given DE is parallel to OQ. This is my DE parallel to OQ. Find, my dear students. So if I want this to be solved, DE parallel to OQ, so I will apply theorem where? In PO, this is my P, POQ, C. This is the only triangle that I have to refer. Rest all part is basically going to be ignored. In triangle POQ, DE is parallel to OQ. This they have given. Fine. New pen OQ. Therefore, by BPT, we get, what do we get? D is parallel to OQ. I will get PE upon EQ. PE upon EQ is equal to PD upon DO. PD upon DO. Fine, this is going to be my 1. Similarly, for the second, DF is parallel to OR. DF, where is my DF? This is my DF. DF parallel to OR. Fine. Now this, if I have to apply the theorem, which triangle do I have to? This is my side. Sorry, this is my segment. This is my side. OR is my side. So this is triangle POQ. R. Here I will have to apply. So in triangle POR, POR, what I have got, DF is parallel to OR. DF is parallel to OR. This is given. Therefore, by DPT, we get, what do we get? Okay, what do we get? PD upon DO. PD upon DO is equal to PF upon FR. PF upon FR. This is going to be my 2. Now just check. You have to prove EF is parallel to Q. This I did not discuss. See, to prove EF is parallel to QR, again I will have to require one more figure I will require. So this is P, this is Q, this is R, fine. And this is my O, this is my D, this is my E, this is my F. If you are unable to understand this figure, my dear students, draw this, because in this video this pencil is too faint, or maybe you will be able to see because you will be having a clearer picture than this what I have got. So here you have to prove EF is parallel to QR. You have to prove this, EF is parallel to QR. This you have to prove. So by converse of DPT, what do I require? I will require this PE upon PQ is equal to PF upon FR in triangle PQR. This is I will require. So actually, to prove EF is parallel to QR, what my requirement actually is, PE upon EQ is equal to PF upon FR. This is actually that I require. This is my true question. If I get this P is equal to EQ is equal to PE upon EQ is equal to PF upon FR, I can tell by converse of DPT EF is parallel to QR straight. This is my true question. I have to reach over here. So PE upon EQ I have got over here everything. Comparing these two, what do you say? PD upon DO is equal to PD upon DO. So here from equation 1 and 2 we get what? PD upon DO, PD upon DO. These two will be equal. PE upon EQ is equal to PF upon FR. Is this what we require? Yes, pakka. But then you have to give the address. Therefore, in triangle, which one? PQR. PQR. We have, what do we have? PE upon EQ is equal to PF upon FR. Therefore, by converse of DPT, we get what? EF is parallel to QR. EF is parallel to QR. Okay, my dear students, I hope you all are getting this. It is not that difficult. You all are very intelligent students and very strong students. So I don't think you all will be having that much difficulty in understanding this. And as it is, this is very easy. So question number 5, I suppose we have finished. Yes. So going to question number 6. It is 6.21. This actually is very easy, my dear students. 6.21 is very easy. It is somewhat of the same type. Double lining is always bad. एक ही स्ट्रोक में आना बनता है, पूरी डायग्राम अच्छा. This is P, Q,
A, B, C, and this is your O. Fine. Same thing they have told, question number 6. A, B, C are points on OP, OQ and OR respectively, such that AB here they have given, what have they given? AB is parallel to PQ, AC is parallel to PR. Show BC is parallel to QR. My dear students, if you feel you can solve this, you can draw this, then definitely carry on, pause the video. Once you are finished, then you can come and resume and counter check your answer whether it is going to come same. So my dear students, this is my P, Q, R, A, B, C, O. P, Q, R, A, B, C, O. P, Q, R, A, B, C, O. Fine. So going to this diagram first, where actually speaking I have to reach. Show BC is parallel to QR. I have to show BC is parallel to QR. See, it is the same figure. BC is parallel to QR. So if I have to go over here, BC parallel to QR, then this I can apply in which triangle? I have to go in triangle OQR to show BC parallel to QR. That means I will be needing what? OB upon BQ is equal to OC upon CR. Basically this I have to prove. Are you getting, my dear students? This I have to prove. The moment I get OB upon BQ is equal to OC upon CR, this I should get. Try to understand, when you have to prove parallel, you have to use converse of BPT. To get this BC parallel to QR, I have to go in triangle OQR. Just see this you have to understand. Where you have to go, this is your true question, and not this BC parallel to QR. Now, this is where you have to go and this is where you have to reach. Forget about this now at present, just keep it in your mind. Now you have to carry on with this AB parallel to PQ, fine? AB parallel to PQ. So where is my AB? AB is this. This is my AB parallel to PQ. So if I have to apply this AB parallel to PQ, BPT, I will take in triangle POQ. This you should be able to track. Rest of the diagram is ignored at present. So I will tell in triangle POQ. POQ. What is it? What is that is being given to me? AB is parallel to PQ. AB is parallel to PQ. Always counter check. This is given. Therefore, by B, P, T, we get what? OA upon AP. OA upon AP is equal to OB upon BQ. OB upon BQ. This is your first equation. Fine. Then AC parallel to PR. AC is this. AC parallel to PR. Fine. This AC parallel to PR, if I have to use, see in your diagram, which triangle are you going to use? I will use this. O, then I will be getting segment and side ka combination barabar in triangle OPR. in triangle OPR. What is being given to me? AC parallel to PR, right? AC is parallel to PR. This is given, condition satisfied. Therefore, by BPT, we get what? OC upon CR. OC upon CR is equal to OA upon AP. OA upon AP. This is what you will get. Okay, my dear students. So from this two, what you will get? Is there anything? Yes, OA upon AP, OA upon AP. Yes, you have got this OA upon AP, OA upon AP. So because these two are equal, so these two have to be equal. From 1 and 2, we get what? OB upon BQ. OB upon BQ is equal to OC upon CR. OB upon BQ, OC upon CR. See, answer ऐसा सामने आके खड़ा होना होता है, right? So, but this you have to use in which triangle? OQR. Therefore, in triangle OQR, now we have, अपने पास है, क्या है? OB upon BQ is equal to OC upon CR. एड्रेस देने का जरूरत नहीं, ऊपर ही है. Therefore, by converse of BPT, we get BC is parallel to QR. BC is parallel to QR. Bye. Finish. Okay, my dear students, I hope you all are getting this. अरे बाप रे, मैं कभी बाहर तो नहीं जाता हूँ, मैं जाता हूँ बहुत. प्रॉब्लम है यार, when I am solving this, I try to be online, but I don't know. अभी गया रहूँगा तो सॉरी भी उसके लिए. देख लेना, अभी भी सामने रखा हूँ मैं. और आई ट्राई टू पोस्ट ऑल दिस समवेयर. इसका भी वेबसाइट बनाता हूँ. कुछ करना पड़ेगा. क्वेश्चन नंबर 7, क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. ओके. See, question number 7, 8. Okay, fine. We will have to go with this. They both are. See what they have told in this question. Using theorem 6.1. 6.1 is supposing BPT. Using BPT. Prove that a line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle parallel to another side bisects the third side. Recall that you have proved it in class 9. Basically, class 9 में कौन सा theorem है? A line drawn. See, what are they telling? Line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle parallel to the third side. This is what? What is the theorem? अरे किसी को नहीं आ रहा यार. आदित्य तेरे को भी नहीं आ रहा क्या? रॉन्ग बोल रहा है. Okay. See, what are they telling? Prove that line drawn through midpoint of one side of a triangle. So this is going to be the midpoint of one side of a triangle. If I draw a line from this midpoint parallel to the another side, supposing if I draw parallel to BC, if I draw from here, this is the midpoint is given to me. Okay. P is the midpoint. P is midpoint of AB. That means what? AC is equal to PQ. From this midpoint, I draw a line which is parallel to BC. I draw like this. P, Q कहाँ से आया? PB है. AP is equal to PB. So this is my Q. PQ is parallel to BC I have drawn. Are you getting my students? I am going with the question. See, prove that line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle. So I took a midpoint of the triangle parallel to another side. Parallel to the another side means parallel to BC. Bisect the third side. I have to prove this is bisecting. That means AQ is equal to QC. And this I have to prove with the help of BPT. So it's very simple. See, basically here they have given PQ is parallel to BC. See here. So it is very easy, my dear students. See here, in triangle ABC, they have already given you PQ is parallel to BC, and they have asked you to use by BPT. This is definitely given. By BPT, what will you get? AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. Fine, this is there. But what do you think AP upon PB is? AP is equal to PB, 1 upon 1. Since AP is equal to PB is given, therefore AQ upon QC is equal to 1 upon 1 from 1 and 2, right? AP upon PB is 1 upon 1, therefore AQ upon QC also has to be 1 upon 1. Therefore, cross multiply AQ is equal to QC by. So simple. Yeah, बस that's all. ओए दो दो पेपर को ट्राई किया नाम ले. Fine. So this is my eighth question. In this question they are in eighth question they are telling prove that the line joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. What was that theorem, by the way? This theorem was what? I don't know. Chalo, come to eighth question. Now they are telling using theorem 6.2 means actually now 6.2 is converse of BPT. Using converse of BPT, prove that the line joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle. So basically now there is another triangle, and now they are telling that there is midpoints are there. This is A, B, C. P is a midpoint, Q is a midpoint. Are you getting? So in given you will have AP is equal to PB, and you will have AQ is equal to QC. They are the midpoints. They have already given, and you have to prove. To prove what? Line joining the midpoints of any two sides. This is the line joining the midpoints of the two sides. Is parallel to the third side. Means PQ is parallel to BC. This you have to prove. This you have to prove by converse of BPT. Just imagine. Actually, converse of BPT से prove होने वाला. See, basically what happens here. See, by converse of BPT, when you have to prove PQ is parallel to BC, then actually what you have to prove, AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. This you have to prove. Are you getting, my dear students? You actually need to prove AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. This you have to prove. Are you getting? Then by converse of BPT, you can tell PQ is parallel to BC. So what is AP upon PB? But see, AP upon PB is going to be 1 upon 1. Since AP is equal to PB is given. Fine. And what is going to be AQ upon QC? AQ upon QC is also going to be 1 upon 1. Since AQ is equal to QC, this is also given. Therefore, from 1 and 2, we get what? AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. And this is what we require. AP upon PB equal to AQ upon QC. Therefore, in triangle ABC, now we have है अपने पास क्या है? AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. Therefore, by converse of BPT, we will get what? PQ is parallel to BC. I don't enjoy to write this. So, fine. So we are finished with question number 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically I'll tell you, my dear students, we can do this in the next. If you want, actually speaking, we can complete this, but it is actually speaking, my dear students, this we can solve in a much better way. The technique here they have told ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DCC. My dear students, the diagram will be something of like this sort. See, dear students, ABCD is a trapezium. They have given that this is a trapezium. Fine. ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. ABCD is parallel to DC and its diagonals intersect each other at point O. The diagonals will intersect each other at point O. This is the point O. Show that AO upon BO, AO upon BO is equal to CO upon BO. I will rather tell you all people to do this on your own, but basically I tell you, once we understand or once we do the second exercise or third exercise, the second we are already in, third or fourth exercise, there is the similarity of triangles. See, I have from exercise 6.1 we talked about similarity, similar figures and everything. But in exercise 6.2 we have not dealt with similar figures at all. We are dealing with DPT only. Next we have got many more theorems and many more figures to come. Similar triangles will come into picture. That time you will come to know. That way you will be able to solve this question much more easily compared to this method. It is, and basically in exam you will have to solve the question in any way, because in exam you have to use your method. At present I have not taught you how to deal with similar figures, similar triangles. So I will not be able to solve this question in that fashion now, because I have not taught you that. But if you go to deal with similar, with DPT, if we go to deal with DPT over here, then it is simple. See, basically here, I'll show it to you. You can solve this on your own and see what you are getting. It is an exercise for your people, and if you are able to do it, very nice. So basically A, B, C, D is a triangle and this is a row. Fine. Now what? AB is parallel to DC is already given to you. You just have to draw a line through O. Supposing this is PQ. PQ parallel to DC. If PQ is parallel to DC, are you able to see the diagram? Yes. If PQ is parallel to DC, by construction PQ parallel to DC, so therefore PQ will be parallel to DC and DC parallel to AB. All three will be parallel to each other, because AB is parallel to DC is already given to you. Fine. So now what you have to do, you have to go in triangle ABD and apply DPT over here. Fine. You apply this DPT over here. When you apply DPT over here, what do you get? DP upon PA is equal to DO upon OB. This is what you will get. Are you getting, my dear students? Similarly, now you have to come on the downside. Like this. Now this is your A, B, C, D, O. Again, this is what you have constructed parallel P, Q. Now you have to go on the downside. You will get A in triangle AD. See, this is again parallel. Fine. So here you will get what? AP, this is P, AP upon PD is equal to AO upon OC. Fine. So now what have you got? See, this is basically what DP upon AP and AP upon PD. So you have to revert this. So you will get DP upon AP is equal to OC upon AO. This two you have got. Okay. So AP upon DP, AP upon DP. So from here you will be able to get this. And then see whether by alternando what you are getting. Try to solve this as a homework, my dear students. Nothing more than that. Okay. And otherwise, anyhow, it's not going to be solved in this fashion at all. You don't have to solve it in this fashion. You have to solve it basically by the method of similarity of triangles. Because if you once understand that exercise, that is better solved in that fashion. So with this, we can consider that 6.2 is over, my dear students, up to question number 8. Fine. So, my dear students, Hope you all have understood up to definitely 1 to 8, and of course you have got the solutions also now. So that's all, my dear students, for the day. Do well, keep calm, keep focused, and most importantly,